Hi, I'm Cloris. I'm an author, coach, and radio show host. And today I wanted to talk to you about saying no. And yes, you've heard this so many times and have read about it. And still, when somebody asks you to do something, you feel obligated. So just the word obligation has a negative connotation. You probably feel already uncomfortable, but you say yes because you feel like you don't have another choice. You feel like, oh, that's what I have to do. It's because it's my grandmother or my neighbor, or I owe this person, or it's my manager, what can I do? But really, it's not that way though. And you have the power to say no and to use your time in the best possible way. Every time I have people attend my courses and my seminars, I tell them, thank you. Thank you for being here because you have a certain number of years in your life, right? Your time on earth is your most precious resource. So I thank you for taking whatever the 2 hours of your time to be here today. And with the same mentality, why spend our most precious resource doing something that just doesn't feel right? Doing something that makes us feel like we don't want to be there. So how do we discern whether it's an obligation that we don't want to do or something that really is aligned with who we are? Because at the moment, you might feel like you have to say yes and then it's too late. How do we do that? Well, the first thing is to actually take the time and to imagine yourself doing that activity and seeing how you feel. For that, to get that time, you actually have to tell the person, you know, let me think about it. I'll check my calendar, I'll get back to you later. That gets you some time to really realize whether this is an obligation or something that you really want to do. An obligation feels like a burden, like you're dreading it, and something that is aligned with your truth feels good. And this applies to the workplace as well. Because if you want to attend, or if you're going to be in a meeting in which you really have nothing to contribute, you're there because they need somebody from your department. What kind of use of your time is that? You're actually saving money to the company if you tell your manager, you know, I think my presence there is not really needed. You'll come across as somebody who's authentic, somebody who's assertive to express himself or herself. And you'll actually advance more in your career than just attending the meeting because you feel like you have to be there. The same thing goes with friends and with family. Do you think they would want you to be at a certain event if they thought you felt like so bad to be there? Do you think they would want to be with you if it was an obligation to you? No. So be honest with them. Say, you know, I really don't have time for this, or it's not what I like to do, and that's okay. But for that, again, you need time. So every time you have that little feeling that something is just not right, just say, you know, let me check my calendar. Sometimes the answer will come to you just like, yes, I'll be there, and you actually feel good about it. That's a good sign. But at any time that you're not sure, just buy yourself some time. At the same time, it's important that we learn to say yes. Yes to opportunities. Because many times somebody asks us to do something, right? Why don't you go paddleboarding with me? And you go paddleboarding, you know, that looks really hard. Maybe I shouldn't go, and then you don't go. And then you miss on a wonderful opportunity to spend time outside and to do something active because of fear. So it's important that we learn to say yes. To say yes to things that might seem a little bit different, but that will bring a lot of new experiences to our life. So how do you do that? Well, you think about it, okay? How does this make me feel overall? Am I acting out of fear? If you're acting out of fear, you will feel like some sort of curiosity, but then you have those thoughts, oh, it's dangerous, it's too expensive, I've never done it before. Those are signs of fear. So once you do that, you can say, you know, I'm going to do it and see what happens. But now if it's a definite risk or something that just doesn't make you feel comfortable, of course say no. So it's a matter of practice, and the more you do it, the better you will become at it. So best of luck with that. And remember, make the best use of your time, because as I always say, we have two choices in life. We can live an unconscious life, saying yes to things that we don't want to say yes and saying no to opportunities, or we can be conscious of our magnificence. Thank you.